Hello. I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm in my work shirt, drinking a beer, in my friend's
This is
room
the
right
most
now.
amazing
So it's
night. What kind of beer are you drinking?
yeah. It is a it was well. I went to the Ontario craft beers because I love a good craft beer because I'm a hipster.
What up,
Um,
hipsters?
it is yeah. It's the Cowbell Brewing
Oh yeah.
Company, Doc Perdu's Boxing Brewing.
Hello.
I don't even know what kind of beer it is. It tastes great. So Cowbell Brewing Company, if you want to sponsor us, we're here.
Nice. I like that a good old
Hmm.
cold one in your hand and you're recording. Like, how
Yeah.
can life get any better than that right now?
Oh, but the funny thing is, it's not cold because it wasn't in the fridge, but still delicious. It's
But
still
it's
great.
lukewarm beer in the hand and you're recording. Could life get
Yeah,
any better than that?
yeah. I don't know. I don't know. What about you? What is your situation
My
happening over there?
situation, well, as some are probably going to see once we're done recording, I did something a little different to myself this time around.
Oh
Yes.
no! I'm so excited
Yeah,
to see
and
it.
I got my main done. I got a nice little refresh coming up for the new year, and so yeah, so
Oh.
cut my hair, and I took myself out today to the aquarium, which was
Oh, I love
nice,
that.
and was able to do like some other errands and had some other appointments with my sister. And then I came home and was able to record here, which was awesome. And yeah, just being able to stay in a really good creative headspace after taking a little time to take care of my innards and my outers, as I call it. And
Mm-hmm.
I took a film intensive course. So
Ooh, tell
yeah,
me
it
about
was
that.
3 days. We go for half the day, and it's obviously boom, boom, boom. So you learn a scene, film, digest or dissect it, learn a scene, digest it, and then the third day you sort of just like have an overview of everything. And it's really nice to be in a classroom setting. And I
Mm-hmm.
love being able to just be with people who have very different experiences in TV and film. Especially, I mean, I'm quite new. Like I've obviously been theater trained and I've done theater for so long, but transitioning into TV and film is difficult. It really is. On so
Yeah.
many levels. But the instructor was very receptive. The students were great, and especially when you're
Mm-hmm.
in a classroom setting or in a group setting of whatever, if you're reading a play or producing a play or whatever, where you're with people who want to do good work. And
Mm-hmm.
I find that the more I'm surrounded by people who are also pushing themselves, and every day, like it's a short 3 day, but like every day you're coming into something new, the energy, I just find like I feel really alive. And I know that sounds like a little
Yeah.
like she, but it's true though. Like my energy changes when I'm surrounded by other creative artists, and the challenge of wanting to do great work, I'm finding I'm gaining that back. Whereas for so long I felt so scattered because all I it was the competition I had with myself, but thinking that, well, if I just did this and if I just sort of get this out and blah, 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 then that means I'm an artist. But now
Hmm.
I'm slowing down towards the end of the year and really reevaluating what it means to be an artist. And yeah, great work is when you really slow down, which is what I did with this film course,
Mm-hmm.
when I was, not only just learning the lines, but dissecting it and like text analysis and circumstances and all of that, instead of just
Yes.
surfacing it and going, oh, but this has to be done by tomorrow. I retracted, came like approached it a bit more calmly. And with that, I was much more open minded, much more receptive.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happened? I went in, killed it, and walked away having achieved another level of into my craft, but being of course obviously with a humble tone to it. I mean, by me killing it, that was me going, oh my goodness, like I felt the difference by doing really great work like that. and then of course the instructor
Right.
sees it, and then the other students have their opinions on it as well. And it is nice to hear from other people when you do good work, but how you feel about it and what your level of success is. And in 3 days, I mean, because that's such a short period of time, to be able to say, like, from the first day into the second and then finalizing on the third, how you really, when you push yourself and you believe in yourself and you want something that badly, how it actually can happen.
Mhm.
And it's December, right? So I mean, it's a great reason to get outside. It's a great reason to get motivated towards the end of the year, and developing that relationship and keep networking with those people that you don't see on a regular basis, but developing a relationship with the instructor who has only seen my work the 2 times that I've taken his course, but knowing that
Right.
he's starting to say, giving me notes on how to sort of keep improving and what furthering into my craft,
Mm.
and knowing that it's something that I want to do, his notes on it, and looking at him and his wife as mentors in a sense, because they are constantly working. They've been in the industry for 30 plus years, and they've done everything from theater to
Mm.
TV and film to not so good projects to really great projects. And listening to a vet who is so willing to give advice, want to see young hungry artists succeed. And
Mm.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
it's been great.
Can I just ask what the name of the
Yes.
instructor is, if you feel
Yeah, of course.
okay
His name is
saying it?
John Cassini. He's done projects in LA. He's been at the Actor Studio in New York.
Nice.
He's done work in Toronto. He's based out of here with his wife in Vancouver. And
Great.
it's with Railtown Actor Studio, which I came across as I was doing my research on studios here in Vancouver. And because I wanted to broaden my craft, and getting into TV and film is very new for me, since I also newly signed with my agent. They came highly recommended, and I just thought he was great. I thought his approach was great, for somebody who has seen every spectrum of the business. I valued his opinion and how he spoke to us, and how encouraging he was. And I really took value in that. And when somebody is as passionate, um, about the craft, but about seeing artists really want to succeed, especially when he sees that they're that hungry, it just really resonated with me. It really resonated with me. So
Hmm.
yeah, I hope to continue studying with him, and all of the other instructors at Railtown Actor Studio, and and the other studios that I've come across while I've done my research here in Vancouver. And I find that there are a lot of people out here who are working, who have a lot of advice, and they're willing to talk to you. And that's been something that I've also been able to do. And I've been able to pick John's brain a bit about the industry and about being new out here, and what to look forward to, and further classes to take, and yeah, and being able to feel comfortable speaking to veteran actors, because there is that stigma about,
Mm-hmm.
oh, be careful when you talk to this person or whatever. And it's not like that. I'm really finding that it's not what people say it is about the industry.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure it does happen where there are people out there who are like, no, I have no desire to talk to anybody or to lend my advice or whatever. Um, but I find that there are people out there who want to mentor and give their advice, because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's about you. Like, you're the one who's going to get yourself the job. And yes, there's
Yep.
obviously, like, we all can look like one another, and there's perhaps you and I, for example, may not necessarily go out for the same audition, or we could, but it's about
Yeah.
our take on the work that
Yep.
that is going to land us the job, and
Mm-hmm.
how we approach it, and how, of course, obviously it has a lot to do with, like, who knows who. Like, let's face it, it is a networking community. But if you approach your work with calm, and with the tools that you have, and the confidence that you have as an actor, an artist, composer, writer, or however you identify with your work, then the work is just going to be there, and people are going to gravitate
Yep.
towards that. I mean, who doesn't want to see great work? I mean, no one's going to want to pay $20 to see, crap. I mean, maybe if it's really good crap. I don't know. I mean, does that exist? Like, I don't know.
It's really well written.
But
yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised. There's some great writing out there who's just not acted well / directed well.
So, so that's my sort of take and where I'm at right now. And I overall, I feel really good. I feel really good when I'm doing good stuff. I feel good, obviously, when my energy is up and when I'm doing great stuff. And, I know you and I have spoken about it, but applications for the Vancouver Fringe Festival are coming up.
Fringe? Yes,
Wow.
they're coming up.
So
we're going to do it. We're going to submit. We're going to do it, guys. We're committing by saying it on this podcast
We're going to do it.
now.
We don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to apply. We'll keep you posted. It's going to be something awesome. Who knows what's...
Maybe we'll just do a live recording of our podcast. It'll be that popular.
And y'all can just see it. Oh my God,
Imagine.
that would be fantastic.
And I'll Skype in. I'll even just be in Toronto and you'll Skype me in. Oh my God. That'd be so fun.
Totally do it. I would totally love that. Oh my gosh. I think that would be awesome.
That'd be great. And it'll actually be a written drama, but people will be expecting it to be oh my God, I'm ready. Okay, I'm giving away all our goods. We can't just lay it on the table right now, Jamie.
I know, it's just like, I'm so excited right now. I'm just like on a really good high, and all I want to do is just like talk about everything.
I love it. I love where you're at. And I'm going to stop you for a sec and just trail back a bit and just say a couple things. So, what you were saying about rekindling your creative energy and going for a different path and doing slower things. I actually just had a conversation today with a good friend of mine who said something about advice I gave on another podcast, House Lights Podcast, if you want to listen, featuring Holly Wider. And he said he didn't like the advice I gave. He said it was toxic, and then he shared it with a bunch of actors of his, and they all agreed with him. And at first I was like really offended. I was like, you shared my advice with someone and they like trolled me? He's like, no, I didn't say it was you. I just asked them what they thought about it. I was like, okay, first of all, you tell me before you do that because I don't want to hurt my name. Secondly, I'm upset because I've lived my creative self this way. And he goes, no, I want you to actually go into the new year without thinking that. And what advice I'd give is you are only as good as what you're working on at the time. And I think what my friend is saying about that is then that gets you caught up with, if you're not working on anything, everything you've done since that point has been garbage, which is not true. Like, you shouldn't throw away the accomplishments you've already created. So I'm taking that and going forward into the new year and just like actually appreciating everything that I'm working on, and not as just the time that I'm working on it, but as a whole in the past, present, and future of the project.
Yay!
Yeah. And another thing I wanted to say was where you were saying about, like, if you and I went out for the same role, for instance, and say, like, you got it. Like, I'm not going to be upset with you for getting it. One, because I'm not a bitch. Yeah. And two, because I love you and I'd be super happy for you. And also three, because I want to suggest to anyone out there who has the opportunity to do this, to sit on the panel of a casting room. Because I know the moment that kind of changed for me was when I held auditions for Female Therapy. I held auditions for the character of Joyce. And we ended up actually going with someone who sent us self-tapes. So don't say self-tapes won't get you the role. And just we had, I think, 15 to 20 actors, most of who I've never seen before. And only maybe 2 of the actors were not great. Like, they either were having an off day or they just weren't great actors. But every other actor was super great, and I could not say, out of the 15 actors that we saw, any of them were similar. They all brought something to the table. They all had a different take on it. And it was the exact same script we listened to. Like, it was the exact same script they all memorized. And it was like, that proves that it doesn't really matter who's going in for what part. Every single person brings something to a role, and every actor's going to bring something different.
Absolutely. So going off of that, so that must have been interesting. Did you see something in and how the actors approached to your script that you went, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have thought of it like that, but I like that? Like, was there anything that sort of like you had an aha about that you, even though you didn't choose that actor, was there something that you admired about it, that their take on the script?
Honestly, it was so long ago, I can't remember. If anything, it may have been like they were playing the character in a way that wasn't like Joyce is a
Yeah.
very sexual character, and they were playing it in a way that wasn't sexual. They were playing it in like more of a facetious way, as like you know how women are told to like don't talk about sex. Um, but it wasn't like a bad thing. It was just yeah, it'd be like different because they didn't have any. You can't ask any questions about size. You just have what you have on the page. And to be perfectly honest, everyone like I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but the writing was really good. The actual script was like a good jokey scene, so you could tell it was a comedy. It gave across the point that these two characters were friends because they had a very like friendly relationship with each other. They were very open, and they were at work while they were just like bitching about Daniel Radcliffe. And it like so the script itself read really well with all the actors, and I think they understood the character. And maybe like a few people would bring like actions. I think what I actually got out of it was how actors appear in the room, like how you appear just as yourself in the room aside from just the great acting, because everyone I felt that walked in were great actors, and it wasn't that, it was like, can we work with this person, do they fit in the like the triad of the three characters, because it was me, Charlotte Cattell, and then we needed to find a third party to be that other person. And it was also like trying to find someone who's willing to work in a very little minimum budget also over the course of a year, because it was like more of a workshop-y kind of thing. We didn't have any set boundaries, so it was like we need to also be comfortable working with someone who's okay with like, we don't know, maybe this will work and maybe it won't. And like we need someone who's okay with that like process. And we ended up going with Aaron Eldershaw, who was fantastic in the role, and also a friend of Charlotte. So I do want to say that we ended up choosing a friend of the casting. So maybe that's sometimes why you don't get the job, because casting already knows them. And it worked out in our favor because of the flexibility of the schedule we were working around. We need someone who's okay with it, and we know Erin will be because she knows Charlotte. And we didn't want to bring a stranger into that environment with them being like, I don't know these girls, what are they doing? And we did have some really talented actresses, but the best thing was seeing the different, just how different someone can be, even though they're doing the same intentions, even though they're still hitting the same beats, because the beats in the script are very clear. They were still like everyone was bringing their own self to the character,
and that's prep, right? I mean, that's prep, and that's good writing, and that's taking something that you want to do good work. You want to do good work because it's a good script, and it's a great project. It was a great project, and you
still is online if you want to watch
it, or bring it back.
And bring it back. No, it's not coming back. Sorry, baby.
I know.
It's not coming back.
We're moving on to other stuff. We're moving on to other stuff.
No. It's okay. You and I will do something in film, and it'll be a hit, and all the television stations will want to pick it up.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be that's definitely a future goal. It's going to be like we're gonna make CBC want our stuff.
You are so special. Maybe you don't think so. If we both took a moment to listen to one another, then maybe we could know what we both know. You, me, and us. You, me, and us.
What your situation is? Wow, I've had too much beer. The script itself was a very toot toot. Yeah, I don't know. That's the sound of my horn. I don't know.